Homeless boy saved a dying white sea in the slums. When the billionaire offered him $10, what he said broke the internet. Rain poured down like a god had tipped over a water barrel, flooding Nairobi's biggest slum, Kibera. Mud rushed through the narrow alleys, and the wind howled, making the tin roofs groan. 14-year-old Musa Waka crouched under his roof, clutching a goat with a lame hind leg, his companion, rescued from a trash heap 3 months ago. He'd named it Little Rain. "Don't be SCA red, Little Rain," Musa whispered, wiping mud from the goat's face with a ragged cloth. His stomach growled, but he still broke the last half of his ugali into crumbs and fed it to the animal. Food was harder to come by than water these days, but he knew Little Rain needed it more. Suddenly, a flash of white lightning split the night sky, illuminating the clogged drainage ditch 10 meters away. Musa's eyes widened. There was a man lying in the filthy water. The man wore a white suit, his blonde hair matted with mud, his face pale and lips blue. His chest barely moved. Musa's heart pounded. A white man here. Kibera wasn't a tourist spot. White folks only came with cameras or in aid organization SUVs, never alone, never half-dead in a ditch. "Leave him, Musa," Aunt Amma hissed from next door. "Could be drug dealers fighting, you don't want to get involved." Musa didn't move. He stared at the man's face. Even in the dim light, he could tell he was middle-aged, his tie crooked, his cuff embroidered with a tiny H. No blood, but his lips were purple, his breathing almost gone. "He's dying," Musa muttered. He remembered the three-finger press his grandmother had taught him, pressing hard between the nose and mouth, then squeezing the sides of the neck. An old trick to wake the unconscious. Nobody believed in it, but Musa did. When cholera had swept through years ago, his grandma had saved 3 kids with it. "Little Rain, stay here." Musa pushed the goat inside, grabbed a bamboo pole, and ran into the storm. Knee-deep in mud, every step felt like the earth was pulling him down. He used the pole to steady himself until he reached the man. A quick check, no breath left. "Wake up!" Musa shouted, rain filling his mouth. He knelt in the mud, dragging the man toward shelter. The guy weighed at least 80 kilos, Musa was skinny as a stick. Every inch was a battle. Finally, under the roof, Musa pressed his thumb between the man's nose and lips, fingers on his neck, shouting, "You can't die here. Kibera doesn't take foreign ghosts." 1 press, 2, 3. The man coughed violently, spitting up black water. His eyes fluttered open. Who are you? His voice was weak, like a dying flame. Musa wiped rain from his face. "Musa. The night cat around here. Night cat kids who stay up, RD bikes, watch doors." Musa grinned, his teeth stained from tea. "Lucky I found you." The man tried to smile but coughed harder. Musa quickly draped his only dry jacket over him. He knew the man was still in danger, needed water, something hot to eat. He ran to Aunt Amma's door. "Auntie, I found a dying white man, can I borrow half a bowl of porridge? I'll pay you back double." Aunt Amma's eyes bulged. "Are you crazy? That's a white boss. They got money, why save him? If he dies, police will come. They'll turn the whole alley inside out," Musa said calmly. "I'm doing this for all of us." Aunt Amma hesitated, then sighed, and handed him a steaming bowl. Musa spoon-fed the man, who swallowed weakly but slowly regained focus. "You aren't afraid of me?" the man rasped. "I could be a drug dealer, a criminal, a smuggler." Musa laughed. "You smell like soap, not like us. Poor folks wash with ash. You use P.A. brand, my dad used to clean hotels." Said. "1 box costs 3 months of food." The man froze, then smiled bitterly. "Your dad died of cholera," Musa said flatly, like it was someone else's story. "I was 6. Mom too. Since then, I survived by collecting bottles and riding bikes." The man was silent for a long moment, eyes glistening. "My name Elijah. Elijah Horton." "Chief Elijah," Musa said respectfully. "You can't move yet. I'll watch you." The storm raged all night. Musa rigged a shelter from plastic sheets and sticks, keeping Elijah Warm, gripping his hand so his body heat wouldn't fade. To keep him awake, Musa told him about Kibera's star map. See the brightest one, that's the Hope star. When it shines, good people come to buy scrap the next day. The dim one next to it. Storm Eye. When it blinks, rain lasts 3 days. That chain up north, the study chain. Kids who memorize it get to sneak into church school. Elijah listened, stunned, then moved. He'd spent his life in a New York penthouse, watching the world through bulletproof glass, but he'd never heard a language of the stars so pure. You're amazing, he whispered. Musa shook his head. We just don't want to die. By dawn, the rain eased. Elijah's breathing steadied. Musa sighed in relief, about to nap, when Elijah fumbled in his soaked jacket and pulled out a folded paper. His hands shook, it fell into the mud. Musa picked it up. One corner was burned. Numbers were scrawled on it, 7.02 degrees south, 36.45 degrees east, and a faded phrase, Project Zebra. What's this? Musa asked. Elijah's eyes sharpened. Burn it. Don't look. But these coordinates Messiah Mara Musa remembered from geography class. Elijah sta read. You know latitude and longitude. Saw a map at church school. Musa tucked the paper into his pouch. I'll keep it safe till you're better. Elijah wanted to say more, but exhaustion pulled him under. Musa stayed by the shelter, watching the sky lighten. He knew something had changed. A white sea shouldn't be in Kibera. A slum kid shouldn't know about Project Zebra. But fate had already tied their threads in the mud. He touched the pouch and whispered, little rain today might be different. Far off, the first sunbeam pierced the clouds, glinting on wet tin roofs like scattered gold. Kibera still slept. No one knew a light in the mud had just begun to glow. When Elijah Horton was rushed to Nairobi Central Hospital, his fever had spiked to 40 degrees Celsius. The doctors diagnosed acute sepsis with severe dehydration 2 hours later, and he might not have made it. His private medical team flew in from London, airlifting him to a VIP road. News soon broke, U.S. biotech giant CNEARLY dies during Kenya visit. 3 days later, Elijah was discouraged. His first move not returning to his hotel, but ordering his driver back to Kibera. Sir, Ariyu. Insane. His assistant, Sarah Chen, blocked the car door in horror. That's a slum. Crime, cholera, everything's a risk. I owe a life, Elijah said, voice low but firm. And I need to see that boy Musa. When the sleek black SUV rolled into Kibera's muddy alleys, the entire slum erupted. Kids chased the car, women peeked from doorways, men gathered Riley. The vehicle stuck out like a rhino in an anthill. It stopped outside Musa's rusted tin shack. Elijah stepped out, crisp in a navy suit, painfully out of place. He ride a black briefcase, walking slowly toward the rickety wooden door. Musa was building a shade for little rain using plastic bottles. He looked up, blinked. You lived. He grinned, tea-stained teeth flashing. Thanks to you. Elijah bowed deeply, formal as a Boa Rudrum greeting. Musa scratched his head. Don't do that. We don't bow here. You here to pay me back. I didn't lend you money. Elijah didn't smile. He opened the briefcase, pulled out a check, and held it out. $100,000. For saving my life. You can study, build a house, even move somewhere better. The air froze. $100,000. In Kibera, that could buy the whole tin alley. Kids gasped, adults muttered. Aunt Amma whispered, God. Musa's gonna be a chief. Musa didn't take it. He sta read at the fancy paper covered in zeros. Then he shook his head. No, Chief. Elijah stiffened. What Musa met his eyes, clear and steady. I don't want this. Then what do you want? Elijah asked. More money, 10 words. Musa said. What? Musa took a deep breath, speaking slowly in Swahili, Nisipati Shulia Mwangaya Thambo. Translation, I want a school. Call it light in the mud. Silence. Even the wind stopped. Elijah stood frozen, as if struck by lightning. He'd heard every request, investments, loans, bribes, but never one like this. A boy who'd saved his life, asking only for a classroom. You mean that? His voice shook. Yes. Musa pointed at the rusted shacks. Our kids start scavenging at 7, who are riding bikes by 10. Church schools a re 2 far, government schools 2 packed. We want to Leah RN, but can't even afford backpacks. He looked up at the sky. But I know knowledge is another kind of ugali. Eat it, and you'll never starve. Elijah's eyes burned. He thought of his New York office, the Change the World slogan on the wall. Now, a 14-year-old slum boy had shattered his hollow pride with 10 words. Okay. He pocketed the check, knelt to meet Musa's gaze. Deal. Light in the mud, a real school. Roof, desks, black bow ard, even a library. Cheers exploded. Kids danced around Musa, singing. Musa! Musa! He turned down cash, he wants light. A Kenyan journalist filmed it, posting a 30-second clip online. C offers $100,000, slum boy asks for a school. The internet is speechless. Within 24 hours, it hit 100 million views. Hashtag #MudLightSchool trended globally. CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera picked it up. Elijah, interviewed in the hospital, choked up. He saved me and asked for a classroom. No charity speech ever hit me like this. He showed me real poverty isn't lacking money. It's lacking hope. Investors cheered, Horton's stock rose. But Elijah didn't see a re. He just wanted to keep his promise. Then came the pushback. Kibra's elders met under the peace tree. Old Chief Okoye thumped his cane. White man builds a school. Last time, they took our land for a hotel. Musa, you're naive. This time's different. Musa argued. Chief Elijah means it. Means it. Sca or Face J, a local gang enforcer, snorted. That check buys 10 AKs. He ca res. Just PR. Musa stayed quiet. In the slums, distrust was survival. Trust a luxury. Then Elijah arrived. He'd swapped his suit for a traditional Kanza robe, holding a pot of honey wine. In broken Swahili, he told the chief, Inakwamba radi yenu. Nadajenga shul, ase kwa ajili yengu, bali kwa ajili ya watoto. I ask your blessing. I'll build this school, not for me, but for the children. The chief studied him, then nodded. Prove it. Sign a peace pact. Once built, the school takes 10 problem kids. Including Sca or Face J. Sca or Face J blinked. Me school, yeah. Musa grinned. You're tough. Teach self-defense. We'll need security. Sca or Face J laughed. Fine. But no tuition. The tension broke. Elijah acted fast. He bought a vacant lot, hired local workers, vowed, every brick laid by Kibra hands. Solar panels, rainwater systems, light and water, guaranteed. On the first day, Musa and the kids built walls from recycled bottles. Sunlight hit the colorful plastic, a shimmering rainbow. Look! Our rainbow bricks! Musa yelled. Elijah snapped a photo, then froze. Musa was studying that burnt scrap of paper again, holding it to the light. Elijah grabbed his arm. You kept that? Musa nodded. You said ignore it. But 7.02 degrees south, 36.45 degree E, that's NEA or Messiah Mara. No Project Zebra on any map. Elijah's face paled. That's my secret lab. Don't tell anyone. Don't go there. Why? Musa pressed. What's there? Zebras? Elijah said nothing. Sta ring at this skinny boy. He realized Musa might have saved more than his life. He'd stumbled onto a secret that could change Africa. The rainy season wind blew through Kibra, rattling the rainbow bricks like whispering stars. Light was rising from the mud. The rainbow brick wall grew taller each day, like a bridge of light stretching across the slum. Elijah kept his promise, personally overseeing construction, making sure every brick was laid by Kibra hands. He even brought in engineers from Nairobi University to design a cheap solar power system, rooftops covered in second-hand solar panels. Musa became the site foreman. Every morning, he led kids hauling water in old buckets to wet the fresh bricks, preventing cracks. They decorated walls with salvaged circuit boa RDS, planted drought-resistant succulents in the gaps. The kids called it the Tin Garden. Musa, will this wall survive the rainy season? Asked 6-year-old Lily, RMS full of plastic bottles. She was a girl Musa had rescued from the dump, father a drunk, mother gone, surviving on scrap. Yes. Musa patted the wall. See, bottles are bones, cement is flesh, the sun is its earbeat, it'll outlive us all. Lily grinned, her missing front tooth making her smile even brighter. But shadows crept closer. One evening, Musa found acid splashed across a section of the wall, the rainbow bricks pitted in SCA red. Kneeling, he spotted half a cigar, not the cheap red lion local smoked, but a pricey blue STAR. Someone doesn't want this school built, he muttered. Elijah was furious. I'll call the police. No. Musa stopped him. Cops will just say we're colluding with whites, more trouble. Then what? Let me talk. Musa's eyes were steel. Alone, he walked to the Iron Fist Gang's turf and abandoned tire factory. SCA Face J sat on an oil drum, smirking. Well, principal. Your school's blocking our business route. What business? Musa asked. Scrap metal runs, SCA Face J blew smoke. Trucks bring old electronics, we strip copper. Your school's in the way. Musa paused. Then, let's partner. SCA Face J blinked. Partner, yeah. Light in the mud takes your problem kids, teaches them to read, fix gadgets. You supply scrap and tires, we build swings, desks, RT walls. Profits split 50-50. You get new knives, we get books. SCA Face J sta read, then burst out laughing. Kid, you're sharper than my old man. Deal. But one condition, I teach self-defense. Done. Musa held out his hand. Their handshake sent a vulture circling overhead, as if witnessing a new pact. The partnership exploded. Kids turned tires into swings and planters, circuit boa RDS into a mural, future Kibra, with flying bikes, singing trees, and a golden school labeled Light in the Mud. Elijah was stunned. He'd brokered billion-dollar Silicon Valley deals, but never seen circular our economy this raw. His journal entry read, I thought saving meant throwing money. Now I know, empowerment is the real light. Opening day arrived. At dawn, 50 kids in donated uniforms urged into the school. A wooden sign at the gate bore Musa's charcoal-scrawled motto, Light isn't in the sky. It's in the mud. Elijah moved to give a speech, but Musa grabbed the mic. Standing on a crate, the boy's voice rang clear. Today, we're not charity cases. We're light bringers. We built walls from trash, RT from scrap, dreams from rain. STA rooting now, Kibra kids will look at Black Boa RDS. Do homework and reach for the STARS. The crowd erupted. Kids sang the Ubuntu anthem, I am because we are because of light. Elijah, watching from the back, wiped his eyes. He pulled out his phone to film, then froze. His inbox was flooded. From KSA Rachin subject, Horton secret lab exposed, Africa as a genetic testing ground. Attached was a leaked news draft. Billionaire Elijah Horton secret zebra gene editing in Kenya, ethical Nida Mary. Say Rayu traitor, Elijah hissed. Sirens wailed. 3 police cars skidded in. Officers Ma urged straight to Elijah, Mr. Horton, you're under investigation for illegal biotech experiments. Musa lunged four-way road no. He built a school. The cop sneered. A school then what's Project Zebra? On that note Musa froze, the burnt scrap of paper, Elijah was shoved into a car. As it sped off, he locked eyes with Musa, mouthing. Protect the school. Silence fell. Lily clung to Musa, sobbing. Will they take our school? Musa held her tight, sta ring at the rainbow brick wall. Sunset painted the plastic bottles in fiery colors, like watching eyes. No, he whispered. Light, once lit, doesn't die. But he knew the real storm was just beginning. That night, under the peace tree, Musa gathered the kids. Chief Elijah's gone, but the school stays. We gua rd it now. But the police said he's bad. A child quavered. Police don't know Kibera, Musa said. If he were evil, why build a school? He could have just paid us off for a video. So what's Project Zebra? Lily asked. Musa unfolded the burnt note. 7.02 degrees south, 36.45 degrees east edge of Masai Mara geography class said that was Masai grazing land, home to wild zebras. Maybe he's saving zebras, then why hide it? Her face J emerged, cigarette glowing. White scientists love secret projects. Last malaria cure tested on kids. Musa's stomach twisted. He knew the truth, too many aid projects stole African genes for Western patents. We need proof, Musa said. Not guesses. Using Elijah's old tablet, they hacked satellite maps, digging for Project Zebra. Lily pieced fragments, she was a puzzle whiz, her face J kept watch, Musa led the CRCH. Midnight a breakthrough. A deleted Science Forum post, Horton Lab, CRISPR-edited zebras for drought resistance could combat famine. CRISPR Lily asked. Gene scissors, Musa explained. Changes DNA. So he made zebras survive dry spells. Her face J frowned. That's good. Masai say zebra hoofbeats call rain. Musa nodded. If zebras live, the grasslands live. But then, breaking news. Horton stock crashes, Shauri holders demand Zebra project shutdown. Musa understood, Elijah wasn't evil. He was trapped between money and ideals. We help him, Musa decided. For the school. Suddenly, little rain began wildly. Musa burst outside. Shadows were dousing the school walls in gasoline, RSON. Her face JROA red. Musa grabbed a water bucket, kids followed. A brawl erupted under the moon. Flames licked the doorframe, but were doused by their makeshift brigade. After away road, Musa picked up half a blue cigar, same as before. It's an inside job, he said coldly. Someone wants light in the mud. Gone. Gazing at the less sky, he clenched the burnt note. He knew he had to go to Masai Mara not for money. Not for fame. For that silent promise, protect the school. Light was in the mud, but the fire that was in his heart now. Dawn after the fire, Kibera smelled of burnt plastic and wet mud. The school gate was red black, but the rainbow brick wall still stood a battle SCA red shield of light refusing to fall. Kids silently clear red debris. Lily wiped soot off the circuit board zebra's eye in the mural. Its gaze seemed to ask the world. Why burn even light? Musa crouched by the doorframe, rolling the half-smoked blue cigar between his fingers. This wasn't street thug tobacco, it was elite. Someone from Elijah's team. Government or that woman, Rob we need answers. Her face J spat out his cigarette. But no brute force. White cops left, but shadows remain. Shadows, Kibera's name for the puppeteers who pulled slum strings from tinted SUVs. Musa stood, scanning the Iron Fist gang's turf. The tire factory looked even more derelict in the rain. Teens dismantled old electronics with iron rods, skilled but hollow-eyed. Problem kids, dropouts, fighters, thieves, society's trash. An idea struck. Her face J, Musa walked over. Your scrap metal business, how's it work? Was good till your school blocked our route. The gangster smirked from his oil drum. What if light in the mud takes your guys? Not as students, as workers. We build a recycling workshop. Our own dismantling, our own profits. SCA face J now rolled his eyes. You trust us? No, Musa held his gaze. But I trust opportunity. You teach them to fight, I teach them to read. Half the EA earnings go to them, half to the school. 50-50 split. SCA face J raised an eyebrow. With one rule: no drugs, no stealing from kids. Break it, banned for life. Silence. Then SCA face J burst out laughing. Deal. But I'm foreman. Done. Musa extended his hand. Their handshake echoed through the rusted factory frame. A derelict Alta are witnessing a new creed. The workshop took off. Kids hauled in junked computers, fridges, washing machines. Copper wires, aluminum sheets, sorted plastics piled up. SCA face J taught value spotting. A boy called Monkey mastered multimeters in 3 days, EA earning the title tech lead. Week 1 profit, 800 shillings, $6. Musa split it, 400 for chalk and notebooks, 400 for a youth fund. Reba writing top Leah earners. Word spread. More problem kids came. No longer gang enforcers, they were light workers. For the first time, their faces held purpose. Then Elijah was freed. With no Kenyan registration for Project Zebra, police had no case. Returning to Kibera, he found not ruins but a hive of rebuilding. Musa. Elijah's voice cracked. You did it. Wedded. Musa handed him the workshop ledger. Meet the Rainbow Fund. Elijah flipped pages, TRS smudging ink. He'd cheered $1 million profits, but never been moved by 6. I'll invest more, he declared. Read. Real tools, proper instructors, no. Musa shook his head. We are in our way. Just help us find buyers. Elijah blinked, then laughed. Deal. My company's Nairobi stores will take your recycled goods. The Pa Reinership leveled up. Old tires became swings, planters, even desk legs. The Circuit Boe RD mural Future Kibera got a frame, hung proudly in class. Salvaged motors powered Mini. Wind turbines, lights on, rain or shine. The school was no longer Charity. It was a creation hub. Yet shadows lingered. One night, Musa Rd whispers outside the workshop wall. Sa said 10,000 shillings each if the school stops. But that kid Musa's got something weird about him. Who ca res he's still gutter trash. Tomorrow, gasoline. Burn the workshop, end their creation crap. Musa's breath froze. Sa again. Elijah's icy deputy. Why such hate for this place? He found Elijah under the peace tree. Sta ring at stars. Chief, Musa whispered, why does Sa want us on Elijah's side? Not hate, control. Wall Street demands metrics, ROI, exit strategies. Light in the mud has no KPIs, no IPO. To her, it's PR fluff hurting stock prices. So she'd rather burn it. Capital never sleeps, Musa. Elijah grimaced. To her, RT is a bug. Vision is risk. Musa remembered his grandma's words, white man's money is like dry season rivers, fast come, faster go. What do we do? Elijah shook his head. Cops won't help. We need proof. Proof Zebra is good, proof the school lasts. I'll go to Masai Mara, Musa said suddenly. What? Elijah jerked upright. It's wilderness. Lions. Poachers. Exactly why I go. Musa's eyes burned. I'll see Project Zebra myself. If it's good, I bring evidence. If it's evil, he paused. I bury it in the mud. Elijah studied him, then pulled out a satellite map, circling a spot. Lab entrance. 7.02 degrees south, 36.45 degrees east. But Musa, promise me.
If it's dangerous, you leave. No heroics. I'm no hero. Musa folded the map. I'm a night cat. I just do what's needed. At dawn, Musa gathered the kids that I'm going to the savannah. Maybe days, maybe a week. School and workshop, yours now. We'll RD it. Lily raised her tiny fist. Light won't die. SCA face J tapped his wrench, my iron fist security got this. Anyone comes. They'll taste recycled justice. Musa smiled. He patted Little Rain, shouldered his pack rations, canteen, Elijah's old GPS, and that burned scrap of paper. One last look at the rainbow brick wall. Sunlight hit the bottles, fracturing into countless beams. A F.A. Rewell salute. Outside Kibera, he flagged a rickety bus bound for Masai Mara. The driver, a Siga archomping giant, grinned. Kid, what's in the Savannah Lions? Zebras, Musa said. The man laughed. Zebras. They're dying of thirst. Why bother? Musa didn't laugh. As the bus kicked up red dust, a yellow dragon shah ridging the horizon, he whispered, a light flows. And I'm walking to its source. The real trial had just begun. The bus rattled for 8 hours on red dirt roads before reaching Na Rock, a dusty town at the edge of the Masai Mara Reserve. Musa's legs felt like lead as he stepped off. The savannah wind ride dry grass and dust, nothing like Kibera's stench of mud. In the distance, Mount Kilimanjaro loomed, a silent giant. Following the GPS, he trekked Tawa RD the coordinates. Along the way, Maasai herders led bony cattle to dwindling waterholes. An elder told him, rains never came. Grass died. Cattle starve. People forget how to smile. Musa's chest tightened. Elijah's words echoed, if zebras survive, the grasslands won't die. The drought was worse than he'd imagined. By dusk, he found the spot, a derelict weather station disguised as a farmhouse, ringed by bed wire. Solar panels and a satellite dish betrayed its purpose. From the bushes, Musa watched camouflaged Gua RDS patrol every 2 hours, their armbands BEA ring Horton's H logo. Elijah's lab, he realized. At nightfall, he slipped through the fence during a Gua RD shift. Inside the compound, blue light glowed from one tin shed. Peering through a crack, Musa froze. Rows of transparent incubation tanks held zebra fetuses, each hooked to monitors. A DNA helix projection labeled drought-resistant gene inserted covered one wall. Another map marked future pilot zones, Kenya, Tanzania, Botswana. He's editing zebras to survive drought. Musa's breath hitched. Voices erupted next door. Shifting to another window, he saw Elijah arguing with 2 white scientists. We must continue. Elijah's voice was raw. Millions starve from drought. Yeah, RLY. If zebras sustain, the grasslands, livestock and people survive. Ethics Boa RDS shut it down, a woman snapped. Releasing gene-edited animals could collapse entire food chains. FDA would never approve. Then we do it here. Elijah fired back. Africa needs this. I'd rather face trial than watch children die. Musa's pulse raced. Elijah wasn't a mad scientist, he was a desperate idealist, battling Shari holders and laws to keep a flicker of hope alive. Then, the door slammed open. S.A. Rachin strode in, black-clad and icy. Elijah, the Boa RD. Votes soon. Her STA was lethal. And zebra, or you're out as sea. I'll resign first. Then I report you for illegal trials. S.A. Ra smirked. Think Africa's lawless global media will devour you. Musa's stomach dropped. S.A. Ra's not just betraying Elijah, she's sabotaging everything. Backing away, his foot kicked a can. The clang tore through the night. Who's there? Musa bolted. Bullets whizzed past as he tumbled down a slope. His GPS shattered, map gone, only the burnt scrap of paper remained. Lion ROARS echoed as he ran until collapsing in a cave, clutching the note like a dying ember. Elijah's saving zebras. S.A. Ra's destroying it. The school's in danger. Footsteps scraped outside. Musa gripped a rock.
A Maasai boy stood at the entrance, maybe 15, wrapped in red shuka, SPA or raised. Who invades land of sacred antelope, he demanded in Swahili. Musa.
From Kibera. Musa raised his hands. No ha rm. City rat. The boy scoffed. Your people steal our land, leave trash. But I'm here for Project Zebra. The boy Ntambu flinched. You know the White Lab Chief Elijah, he's helping zebras. Ntambu's grip on his SPEA loosened. I'm grandson of Elder Oloika. We've watched that lab. They take pregnant ma-res, never return. My people say they steal the EARTH's breath. Musa's chest burned. We want the same thing. Let me show you. He described the lab, gene tanks, drought maps, Elijah's defiance. Ntambu's eyes lit up. If true, maybe we help Elijah. How with EARS of the EARTH? At dawn, Ntambu led Musa to the savannah.
From his satchel, he pulled a strange funnel-shaped device, antelope horn strung with threads buried underground. Ancestors sound tracker, Ntambu explained. Horses hear water underground. Zebras sense storms miles away. This listens to their cries, predicts drought.
Musa grinned. We have old phones. Can record.
Use apps to analyze. They rigged Ntambu's horn to Musa's dying phone, capturing zebra calls. 3 days later, the device picked up a frantic, deep-pitched frequency. Distress call.
Ntambu gasped. Amari's warning.
Tracking the sound, they found her, a missing pregnant zebra from Elijah's lab, Night Shadow, staggering NEA or a dried riverbed, ready to fold. She escaped.
Musa whispered. Engines ROA red.
2 SUVs Cha Ridge Tower RD them SA Ross mercenaries, armed with trank guns. They'll take her back.
Ntambu growled. Musa's mind raced.
Kibera kids built animal alerts from junk phones, auto texts when sound spiked. Link the horn to the satellite phone, he yelled.
Ntambu worked fast. Musa typed Elijah's number, set the message, Night Shadow at dry riverbed. Merc's coming. Hurry.
The Mercs closed in as the text fired off.
A DRT hit Night Shadow's leg, she collapsed. No.
Musa leapt between her and the guns. Move, gutter.
Rat, a Merc SNA led. She's giving birth. Musa ROA red. You'll kill them both. Then a horn blast split the air, Ntambu blew the Maasai Wolf SCA rare, a signal answered by thunderous hoofbeats. Dozens of warriors on donkeys, SPARS glinting, surged over the hills. The Mercs fled. Musa and Ntambu stayed with Night Shadow.
2 hours later, her foal arrived, jet black with a silver stripe like moonlight. New moon, Ntambu named it, stroking the foal.
The savannah's new hope. Musa placed the burnt note under New Moon's nose.
The foal sniffed, as if testing this light from mud, could it be trusted at sunset. Elijah's CAR arrived.
Seeing Night Shadow and her foal, he wept. Musa and Ntambu, you saved them. Saved everything. Musa handed him the phone. Proofs all here. Sound clips, photos, videos. Now the world sees the truth. Elijah nodded. But more importantly, he looked at Musa and Ntambu. This Africa's future. Not genes. Not money. Two boys. A junk phone and an antelope horn. Lighting a fire, brighter than any lab. The birth of new moon struck like lightning, cutting through the storm clouds over Project Zebra. Elijah raced back to Nairobi with the phone footage and soundwave data. Musa and Tambo slumped exhausted but bright-eyed in the back seat. They knew this evidence proved Elijah wasn't a mad scientist, just a man fighting climate disaster with science. But cities are deadlier than savannas. The next morning, when Elijah walked into Horton Biotech's Africa HQ, he wasn't met with applause, but an ambush. A news segment read on the lobby screen. Exclusive, USTYCNS secret zebra gene editing in Kenya. Africa as lab rats. The footage showed Night Shadow collapsing under a trank de RT, the headline dripping with colonial panic. Sarah Elijah stormed into her office, voice shaking. You leaked this. Sarah Chen sat behind her steel desk, ICECOM. I exposed truth. Shari holders deserve to know about illegal trials. Stocks down 23%. The BOA RD demands you terminate the project. Truth. Elijah slammed his palms on the desk. You edited the video. Cut Night Shadow giving birth, the Maasai rescue. You cherry-picked the SCA Reist clips to paint me as a monster. Public doesn't need details, Elijah. She stood, heels clicking. They need a story. White scientist, African animals, genetic tampering. Front page gold or CA rear suicide. Elijah's blood ran cold. Sarah never CA read about zebra. She wanted control. Leak the scandal, force him out, then sell the tech to Melita Rise or Big Pharma RMA. You torched everything. No, she smiled. I saved the company. Now clean up your mess. By afternoon, Kenya Wildlife Service issued a statement. Horton Lab. Project Zebra suspended pending investigation. When the news hit Kibera, light in the mud fell. Silent. Will they close our school? Lily clutched her textbook, eyes wet. SCA her face. Jay punched a desk. Told you. White scientists, all the RS. Musa stood before the rainbow brick wall. Sunlight glinted off plastic bottles, but the RNTH was gone. Elijah's kindness had been twisted, capital and media spinning salvation into colonial exploitation. We don't surrender. He turned to the kids. Light shouldn't die this easy. He pulled out the satellite phone, Tambo's pa-rooting gift, and dialed Elijah. Chief, Musa said firmly, SARA won round 1. But round 2 is ours. Elijah laughed bitterly. Musa, the government shut the lab. Shari holders want me gone. I'm powerless. You're not. Musa's voice hardened. We have evidence EARS of the EARTH data, New Moon's birth video, Maasai testimonies. We release it our way. Who'll believe slum kids believing's their problem? Musa scanned the classroom. But we must speak. Or the light dies for real. That night, light in the mud stayed lit. Under the peace tree, Musa convened a council of light kids, iron fist workers, Aunt Amma, neighbors. They treat us like begars. Musa stood on a rock, voice clear. Today, we're not victims. We're storytellers. He assigned roles. Lily and Monkey would edit videos on the cracked tablet. SCA or Face J's crew would print flyers. We saw the truth. Aunt Amma booked church halls for screenings. We'll show Nairobi, Kenya, the world. Musa raised his phone. Zebras aren't lab rats. Elijah's no villain, he's a night watchman. The rebellion began. Kids fought media giants with scraps of flyers at bus stops, with crayon sketches of Night Shadow's birth. Ma or Ket loudspeakers blaring zebra calls from EARS of the EARTH. Even a junk CART sound system looping Musa's voice. We don't want pity. We want truth. By day 3, Nairobi University students joined, marching with signs. Science isn't evil, greed is. African grasslands, African voices. The global narrative shifted. The Guardian wrote, as West via RS Franken zebras, African children speak facts. BBC Africa livestreamed Lily's trembling hands at a screening. We filmed this because no one listens to us. Dawn's arrival was like a spa arcade hitting dry grass, igniting a new mission for light in the mud. Kids no longer just studied math and Swahili.
Now, their timetable included a savannah class taught remotely by Ntambu, lessons in Maasai wisdom, reading wind patterns to track animals, decoding bird calls to predict storms, repelling mosquitoes with cattle dung ash.
Musa became a dual student teaching Kibra kids by day, learning wilderness survival from Ntambu by night.
They built a knowledge hotline between slum and savannah using satellite phones and a cracked tablet.
You city folk walk sta ring at the ground, Ntambu said over video. We watch the sky. Zebra herds shake the EARTH when they run EARS of the EARTH hear it.
But you have sky eyes, drones.
Elijah was stunned.
He'd planned to sell his last two RESAARCH drones to pay debts.
Instead, he handed them to the kids. But we can't fly, Lily whispered. I'll teach. SCA Face J surprised everyone by stepping up. Played video games, steady hands. Under Ntambu's guidance, SCA Face J became the Alliance of Light's lead pilot.
Kids rigged the drones with recycled batteries and old phone cameras, dubbing them Eyes of the Zebra.
First mission, track Night Shadow and New Moon's migration route. The drone lifted off.
The screen showed a golden savanna, zebras flowing like a black river, foals pressed close to mothers, hooves like thunder.
Then Ntambu's shout, stop. 300 meters left, poacher's trap.
Zooming in, a steel SNA re-gleamed in the grass. Dawn.
Musa ordered. Sound the Allah RM. The recycling workshop sprang to action.
Kids built a Savannah alert from junk speakers and circuit boa RDS, blasting a sonic warning via satellite to NEARBY Maasai villages. 2 hours later, Ntambu messaged, trap dismantled.
Poachers fled. Your sky eyes outran their bullets.
Cheers shook the classroom. For the first time, Musa realized Kibera's trash could be a weapon for life. But the real test came just before rains. Ntambu's emergency call, Night Shadow's missing.
Pregnant, due any day, didn't return to the herd.
We found tracks leading to Valley of Death.
Lion territory. The valley was Masai Mara's deadliest zone. Dried riverbeds crack like shattered glass, where lone animals sta trapped. Musa knew they had to go. Too dangerous. Elijah refused. You're no Masai warrior. Don't know savannah rules. But Night Shadow saved you, Musa sta read him down. Now Wesave her. Elijah remembered waking in the hospital to Musa's voice. You can't die here. Same logic.
Same debt. Fine, he finally agreed. But take Eyes of the Zebra, the satellite phone, and this. He handed over a GPS collar, or if you find her, tag her.
It'll help monitor the whole herd. At dawn, Musa met Ntambu in a rock. 2 donkeys stood ready, loaded with water, dried meat, and the EARS of the EARTH. Ntambu tossed Musa a red shuka. We are this. The land will accept you. They rode into the wild. Sun scorched, dust choked. Musa's city lungs gasped until Ntambu taught him the Maasai trick, wet cloth over mouth, breathing through damp fabric. Day 3, they reached the valley's edge.
The drone's camera soon spotted Night Shadow, trapped in a fissure, hind leg stuck, belly heaving. She was giving birth. She won't last. Musa panicked. Wait. Ntambu pointed at vultures circling. They smell death but won't land.
Means life still fights.
He blew his horn, a deep, pulsing call.
Minutes later. Distant replies echoed. Maasai scouts had received the drone's alert. Now, Ntambu said.
You slide down east, calm her with EARS. I'll loop west, distract predators.
Musa tucked the GPS collar into his sleeve, skidding down the slope.
Rocks clattered, Night Shadow jerked, screaming.
Musa raised the EARS, playing recorded zebra calls,
her herd's come home song.
Her EARS twitched. Calming. Musa crept closer, hand on her neck, easy, Night Shadow. It's Musa. Kibera's friend. Then gunshot. Poachers. 2 men emerged from boulders, rifles aimed at Night Shadow. Pregnant Ma residential fetch $top are for their hides. Musa's mind blanked.
He could have hidden, but Nightshadow's terrified eyes, the unborn foal kicking inside, he leaped, shielding her with his body. Stop. He ROA read in Swahili Masai mix. This is Dawn's mother. Kill her, the whole savannah will hunt you. The poachers froze. No one ever stepped in front of a bullet. Tambu's Hornbla read again, not the wolf Ska rare, but the lion cha RG ala RM. He lit a grass fire, smoke billowing, tricking the poachers into thinking predators approached. One panicked shot grazed Moose's shoulder. Blood dripped, but he clung to Night Shadow. Madman, the poachers spat, fleeing into dust. Safe now, Night Shadow delivered her fold pure white, like moonlight on black soil. Snow Shadow, Tambu named it, stroking the newborn. The land's miracle. Musa, wincing, fastened the GPS collar on Night Shadow. Instantly, a red dot blinked to life on the light in the mud screen in Nairobi, linking new moon, dawn, now Snow Shadow. Elijah wept watching the data stream. He called his boa RD, zebra isn't an experiment anymore. It's Guardianship. I'm founding a Savannah Guardians Fund, all tech open source, free to Africa. If Shari holders object, I'll fund it myself. Even if it ruins me. Back in Kibera, kids cheered. At Snow Shadow's photo. Lily drew Musa blocking the bullet, titling it, Child King of the Grasslands. Musa wrote in his journal, I thought saving Night Shadow was heroism. Tambu says. True bravery isn't fearing death, it's choosing to stand before the weak, knowing it'll hurt. That night, by the campfire, Tambu handed Musa steaming chai. City boy, you finally understand the savannah. No, Musa shook his head. We finally understand, city and grassland were never apart. Firelight flickered. Snow Shadow nuzzled Night Shadow, a newborn light glowing across the endless wild. Under pressure, Kenya formed an independent panel. Elijah handed over all data, including New Moon's genes, proving that drought resistance was a natural mutation. The lab merely monitored, never edited. So zebra wasn't gene editing, the lead investigator gasped. It was gene guardianship. The truth, Elijah aimed to help zebras adapt to climate change through assisted breeding, not create super animals. He'd even planned to open source the tech, free for Africa. Sarah Chen was fired. At her exit presser, she stiffly said, business decision. Nothing personal. But cameras caught her nails digging bloody crescents into her palms. The storm passed, but waves remained. Elijah found Musa later, Shari holders still want zebra dead. They say no profit. Musa studied the rainbow brick wall. If no one funds you, would you keep going? Elijah paused. Yes. But without money, the lab dies in 3 months. Musa grinned. Then we fund you what with recycling workshop profits? Musa said. Every shilling goes to a Savannah fund. Not enough. We'll scrap more fridges, sell more copper. Elijah's eyes glistened. That'll take years. Light doesn't rush. Musa gazed at the horizon. Chief, you said empowerment is real light. Now. It's our turn to empower you. A week. Later, Light in the Mud pledged, all recycling workshop profits for 3 years to Zebra Guardians. Nairobians responded, hauling in old electronics, fix this. Let it power the savannah. Then, the miracle. Masai Elder Oloika arrived in Kibera, leading a jet black foal with a silver stripe, New Moon sibling. His name is Dawn, Oloika rasped, touching Musa's forehead. Must I say, when city children and grassland warriors unite, the EARTH breathes again. This fold RDS light in the mud. Kids SWA Remed, giggling as Dawn nuzzled Lily's palm. Elijah watched, scribbling in his journal, I thought I was saving Africa. Forgot Africa had its own light. Not in labs. Not in boardrooms. In a slum boy's choice. That night, Musa sat alone under the peace tree. He pulled out the burnt scrap of paper, laid it at Dawn's hooves. Wind lifted the note, a tiny ship, ready to sail. He smiled. The alliance of light had begun. The news of Snow Shadow's birth spread like wildfire across Africa. Nairobi's Daily Nation splashed Musa's photo body shielding night shadow from poachers on its front page. 14-year-old slum boy protects Rare zebra with his life, not a hero, but the future. The UN Environment Programme sent congratulations. Kenya's president invited the alliance of Light Musa, Tambu, and a tearful Elijah to State House.
The government flipped overnight. Wildlife Services declare red, Project Zebra upgraded to National Conservation Program, officially partnering with Elijah's team.
Even Wall Street investors, shamed by global outcry, issued statements praising it as a gold standard in corporate responsibility. But Musa knew the real work was just sta rooting. Guardianship can't rely on luck, he told the Light in the Mud class.
It needs everyone.
He proposed a bold idea: let's build a Zebra Guardians app, where villagers report poachers and EARN.
Food credits. Elijah hesitated. Rural mobile penetration is only 40%, but M-Pesa is everywhere. Musa countered. Kenya's mobile money system reached even remote herders. Link the app to M-Pesa's credit system. Reva Road reports with maize flour, solar are lamps, things people need. Elijah's jaw dropped. He'd forgotten Africa's tech leapfrog, skipping PCs, straight to phones. Done, he vowed. I'll handle servers. You handle genius.
The coalition expanded. Li Wei, a Chinese rail engineer, donated 10 old SMA phones. You build savannas, we build tracks, both paving Africa's future. Monkey and Lily's recycling squad built signal boosters from junk circuit BOA RDS, fixing weak network gaps. Tambu recruited Maasai, Luo, and Kamba tribes, former herders, hunters, even ex-poachers, as Savannah Eyes.
Then a roadblock. App developers quoted 1 million shillings.
The kids had 3,000 from scrap sales. Let's code it ourselves.
SCAer face J blurted, pulling up a coding app on his cracked tablet. I downloaded some programming tutorials. Understood 10%. Enough. Musa grinned. Perfect. We'll patchwork code, each writes a piece, like soldering circuit BOA RDS. An epic grassroots hackathon began. Lily designed zebra-striped icons, hoofprint buttons. Monkey coded GPS auto-tagging for poacher reports. SCAer face J built the credit store, syncing with M-Pesa. Tambu recorded voice guides in Swahili, Maasai, Shang slang. For 7 sleepless nights, they camped in the classroom, surviving on Aunt Ama's ugali, while writing their 3 ancient laptops from thieves. Finally, Zebra Guardians v1.0 launched. First test, the Valley of Death. Musa and Tambo wrote out, finding a fresh SNA. Tambo snapped a photo, tagged coordinates, hit submit. Beep. Report verified. 50 credits, $5, deposited to M-Pesa. Simultaneously, 3 NEARBY Guardians. Alerts arriving within 30 minutes to dismantle the trap. It works. The kids in Nairobi screamed, hugging each other. Word spread like lightning. Within months, 20,000 Guardians registered across Maasai Mara, Savo, and Basili. The credit store's top seller. Malaria kit for kids, sponsored by Elijah's Fund. Then came the masterstroke. Every zebra's stripes are unique, like fingerprints, Musa proposed. Use old phone cameras plus AI to build a zebra family tree. Elijah repurposed abandoned AI models. Kids upgraded servers with recycled GPU PA RTS. They cataloged Night Shadow, New Moon, Snow Shadow, even Dawn's life in Kibra got a profile. When the AI matched a lost zebra to its herd, Elder Oloika wept. Ancestors said stripes hold memory. Now machines remember too. The app mirrored Africa's realities. Credits for medicine highlighted healthcare gaps. M-Pesa integration showcased mobile money innovation. Ex-poachers turn Guardians proved. Conservation pays. But shadows return. One night, servers crashed. Hackers left a message, shut down Zebra Guardians or we'll expose all Guardians locations for retaliation. Musa traced the IP. Horton's New York HQ. S.A. Ra Elijah seethed. In a heated BOA RD call, he played Snow Shadow's birth video. If TSIS unprofitable, I'll bankrupt myself happily. Then he nuked corporate greed, open-sourced the app, free for global developers. Launched Africa Youth Tech Fund for Musa's education. Donated 10% of his Shah-Res to an independent trust. Silence. Then, a senior Shah-Re holder stood. Elijah, you reminded us why we entered science. The hackers retreated. Bigger victory came when Zebra Guardians won the Africa Tech Prize. On stage, Musa didn't speak, he played a time-lapse, Kibera kids turning trash into tech, ending with the app's icon. "What's this film called?" the host asked. Musa smiled. "Junk's Rebirth." Backstage, Elijah wiped TRS, scribbling in his journal what $1 billion couldn't buy me, a slum kid rened with one broken phone. Rainy season returned. In Kibera's mud, Don galloped, kids clinging to his back, laughter ringing. Above them, light in the mud's new solar, our panels glinted, countless eyes watching the alliance breathe. 5 YRS flowed like the Nairobi River, quiet, steady, unstoppable. The old light in the mud school had transformed into the Africa Future Academy. Tin shacks were now red brick buildings, the dirt RD, a recycled plastic running track. Solar, our panels gleamed on rooftops. Kids coded on tablets in bright classrooms, a library overflowed with donated books, and the eco-center wall displayed real-time data from the Zebra Guardians app, herd movements glowing like golden rivers across a digital savanna. Musa Waka was back. No longer the scrawny boy huddled under a leaky roof. He stood tall in a simple cotton robe, eyes calm as lake water. Fresh from his environmental science degree at Cape Town University, he'd returned for the Academy's 10th anniversary. The celebration ROA read with life. Kids in blue and white uniforms performed a dance blending Masai warrior leaps with Kibera street moves. Tambo, now the youngest ranger captain in Masai Mara, his badge BA ring the Zebra Guardians emblem, stood proudly beside Elijah Horton, whose hair had silvered but posture stayed unbent. As the tribute moment began, lights dimmed. A montage played, young Musa dragging Elijah from the rainstorm. The rainbow brick wall glittering at dawn. Night shadow giving birth in the cracked riverbed. Kids dismantling junk in the recycling workshop. The Zebra Guardians app launching, credit stores lighting up villages. It ended with today's academy, a caption flashing, light flows. Applause thundered. Elijah stepped up, holding a familiar black briefcase. 5 years ago, his voice trembled, I offered $100,000, thinking money could repay a life. The crowd chuckled. But Musa said he only wanted 10 words, a school called Light in the Mud. Laughter melted into YRM clapping. Today, Elijah turned to Musa, opening the briefcase, I ask again, what do you want? Silence. What would it be this time? A new building, $1 million AR fund. A US visa. Musa took the mic, smiling. Chief, this time I want 100 words. Elijah blinked, then burst out laughing. Go on. Musa signaled backstage. 2 students unfurled a massive banner covered in colorful chalk scribbles, children's handwritten wishes. 100 new books, especially space and oceans. 1 telescope to see the Milky Way. 1 trip to Cape Town to meet penguins. 1 school bus for remote kids. 10 3D printers to make prosthetic limbs. 1 swimming pool, Kibera kids wanna swim too. 1 band with instruments from junk. At the bottom, Musa's neat script, for the world to know, African kids can light up the stars. The air froze. Elijah's eyes burned as he read each line, so simple, so pure, so utterly priceless. He glanced at the briefcase's check, $10 million. Then, he ripped it apart, tossing the pieces like confetti. You already own, Elijah whispered, TRS falling, the most expensive treasure, hope. The crowd erupted. Kids stormed the stage, hoisting Elijah and Musa onto their shoulders. Tambo blew the Masai war horn, its cry shaking the sky. Then a staffer rushed to Musa with a satellite alert. The Zebra Guardian screen flashed red energy HTSHOLDR, abnormal movement. Maso Ma'are southeast. She's old, maybe sick. Musa grabbed the sat phone. Tambu, ready the donkeys. Elijah didn't hesitate, take my chopper. It's fueled at Wilson Airport. 30 minutes later, they found Night Shadow by a dried riverbed, breathing shallowly. Her famous stripes had faded, but her eyes, still gentle, recognized Musa. He knelt, stroking her neck. Old friend, I'm here. She nickered weakly. The vet confirmed, he RT failure. 32 years old, double a wild zebra's lifespan. Let her go. She's rened rest. Musa nodded, TRS falling.
On the app, he marked her final coordinates, forever grasslands. The alert went global.
Sunset painted the savannah gold.
Musa, Tambu, and Elijah sat with Night Shadow as she lifted her head one last time, gazing at Kilimanjaro, before closing her eyes. Wind stilled. Birds hushed. Even lions seemed to pause. Musa laid the burnt scrap of paper, his decade-old talisman, beneath her. Project Zebra's secret return to the EARTH. Elijah pulled out his leather journal, writing on the last page for all to see.
Zebra never ended. It began with a CS redemption grew through a boy's choice lives.
In every, I will protect. True legacy isn't genes or tech, it's the light that rose from mud teaching us, life's meaning is passing the flame.
Night fell.
The Messiah Mara sky blazed with stars. Musa looked up, whispering, Chief, see how bright hope star is tonight. Elijah smiled, lighting the way home.
Night Shadow's passing wasn't an end, it was a quiet lesson. Guardianship isn't about immortality. It's about legacy. Her GPS collar became a memorial plaque in the Academy's Eco Center, engraved.
She's gone, but her hooves still move on the map, because every new zebra rise her stripes.
Musa didn't stop.
He scaled the Zebra Guardians model to new frontiers, EARS of the rainforest, PA renewing with Congo's pygmies to track illegal logging using old phones. Coral sentinels, Zanzibar fishermen patrol reefs on boats made of recycled plastic. Desert oasis, Sahel herders build rainwater systems with recycling.
Workshop Tech. Elijah kept his word, launching the Africa Youth Tech Fund.
Its first Chole RS Lily, developing a malaria AI detector using phone cameras to scan blood samples. Monkey, whose Sola are cockroach robots, clean Kibra's tight alleys. SC Airface J, running Junk Academy to train ex-gangsters as Circula are tech engineers. Tambu forged a cross-tribal Guardians alliance, Masai, Luo, and Kamba herders Sha Ringpocher data. His motto, grasslands have no tribes, just as light has no class.
5 years later, Nairobi hosted the UNEARTH Champions Awa RDS.
The spotlight hit as the announcer boomed, this year's youth champion revolutionized African conservation, Musa Waka. Musa walked on stage, not in a suit, but Ndambu's red shuka, the faded burnt note around his neck. Thank you, he said softly.
But this Awa RD isn't mine.
The hall hushed. It belongs to a rainy night in Kibera. To a three-legged goat named
Little Rain. To a white chief who almost died in a ditch. He lifted the note.
To Night Shadow, New Moon, Snow Shadow, to every zebra running through drought.
He scanned the crowd. Elijah, white-haired but beaming.
Tambu, chest out in his ranger uniform. Lily, Monkey, SCA or Face J, and Junk Academy kids clapping wildly. I thought light was given, Musa said.
Chief Elijah gave a school. Chief Tambu taught me to listen to the EARTH. But truth is, light was always inside us.
He played a video, Kibera kids 3D printing prosthetic limbs in the recycling workshop. The wall behind them bore their handwritten slogans, we're not trash. We're resources. We don't wait for light. We build it.
Real change, Musa said, isn't top-down rescue. It's bottom-up awakening.
When a slum kid RDS savannas with a junk phone, when a Maasai fights poachers via app, when a girl battles malaria with AI, that's Africa's future.
Elijah wiped TRS, remembering
his EARLY arrogance in Kibera, thinking money fixed everything.
Now he knew, the strongest tech is RTS. The most enduring project hope. Post-ceremony, Musa skipped the Pa Rudy.
He sat alone under the peace tree, moonlight dappling through leaves like dancing spa RKS.
Tambu found him. Thinking of Night Shadow. Musa nodded.
I buried the note with her.
Now I've got no relic left. Tambu handed him spiced tea. Relic look.
He pointed to the Eco-Center screen, a real-time map of Africa, pulsing with thousands of dots, zebra guardians, rainforest EARS, coral sentinels.
Every dot is a Musa, Tambu said. They report poachers, monitor trees, save reefs. That note you buried, it grew into this constellation. Musa froze. He finally understood, light never stays still. It flows, replicates, reignites in every HRT it touches. So, he grinned, I'm not the Child King, just the first light ba rare no. Ntambush shook his head. First, but not last. The alliance never ends. Beyond them, Lily taught newcomers her AI malaria detector.sca her face Jay's apprentices welded junk robots. Dawnsful, daybreak, grazed by the Sola Arlit playground. Musa gazed at the stars. Hope star still shone. Storm eye blinked quietly. Study chain a urged across the sky. He whispered, little rain to daylight flows. Wind chimes clinked, plastic bottles on tin roofs. Singing back, we all shine.